What is
Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon to all the duckers that they are joining us today for a new episode of the podcast. As you can tell, there is a new speaker in town in the pond. It's me, as probably you all know, Giuliano from the Duck the Duck. I am glad to have here as a first guest Arthur from Keith Gill, CTO from Solana that we will talk about. And I'm very happy for all the people that are tuning in and they will listen to this because I'm very pleased to be here today. So we are going to start with Arthur. Good evening for the two of us. Morning. How are you today?
I'm doing good. Doug, how are we all doing in the podcast today? It is a pleasure to be here. Thank you for having us in. I am Keith Gill. I am Arthur Crypt. If you really want to get personal on this, I'm one of the members of the CTO, Keith Gill, the CTO that has been ongoing now we're gonna go for 8 months, 15 days. The coin has been created for 8 months, 18 days, and it was CTO'd 2 to 3 days after that. So with the team we're running now, it has been 8 months, 15 days on the Solana chain. That is something we take pleasure in saying, to be honest, man. It's been a ride.
I'm impressed because as all the ducks know in the pond, we always say we are the original team, but we've been out for 7.5 months now, almost 8 as well. But great job, because CTOs are definitely something that we will dig into it with the podcast, but are definitely something that they can change very quickly. So let's start with a bit about you. So if you want to get a bit personal, Arthur, a bit about your background. How old are you? What brought you to crypto, in the first place?
Well, Doug, me as Arthur, I started in the crypto at the bright old age of 14. I got dragged in with, I think it's fairly common, as we spoke about this before. I started on a mining app on your phone called Pi. So if you aren't familiar with this, you used to come on once a day and you pressed the little button and you started to mine crypto. Now, they hadn't actually brought it out to the market or anything. This was all apparently to help with marketing, and with marketing then they would get money to be able to push the coin or whatever. I don't know. That was short-lived, but that was my introduction into crypto, and that brought me into the space. Ever since, I've been dabbling. But in the past, it's just been over a year now, a year and a few months for myself. I've been dabbling in the Memecoin space. Now, for more than half of that time, I've been around Keith Gill. I had cold feet at the start. I think a lot of people do coming into the Memecoin space. Things move very quick, especially if you're coming from a background where you weren't really trading Solana, Ethereum. You weren't trading on them. No, I was buying and I was letting it sit. But you got to be here every single minute of the day if you want to really try and trade your bags in the crypto space. Things move quick. So for me, myself speaking, I like to buy them. I like to let them sit. The day will come where you can offload a wee bit. The day will come where you will get what you wanted. You don't need to constantly be trying to chase this buy. And I think that's where a lot of people get caught up, because you can become overly invested in coins very quick in this market, and you think your funds are going to come back to you sooner than what they are. Let them sit. Don't get over invested. If you think you need the money again next month, don't put it on, man. Sit down, sit back, have a good time, buy what you can, and hold on to that shit. Because we've seen Jellycoin recently. Jelly, it blew up. There was millionaires made overnight. So if you were trying to trade on that and you went to bed and you left your wee $5 bin bag or whatever, but the majority of your bag you pulled out because you wanted to trade on the chart, I think sometimes you're better just sitting back, holding on, and letting the bag ride. So for about I'm gonna say 5 months now. I haven't really been trading anything at all. I've been purely focused in getting my name out in the community, joining into spaces, finding myself in places like the Pondcast. You know, it's all about really trying to stay on the space. You don't want to ever start hiding from it or taking a week at a time off. I've seen other people in CTOs do that where they're all taking time off. Now I can understand if you know a wee minute away from the space, but you can't take days off at a time on this. You got a name to keep up. People get worried. People see the price go down and people panic. Where's the team? Where's the team? And if you can't be there when they need the answer or they need a question answered, mm, you gotta rethink your role if you really want to be CTO. You get a lot of questions, you get a lot of accusations. This is Solana. Recently, we had I don't even know what to call these guys, so let's just call them Plan B. Plan B recently, they're a wee community online, mostly move on X, where they hold spaces, they talk about things they're all interested in. One of the things they were interested in was the GME stock, where they, of course, then Keith Gill came up. Keith Gill being on Solana crypto, they all started talking, and the price movement's a lot more than what you see in GME in a day. So with this far higher price movement, people talk a lot more. There's far more to talk about on a daily basis. So Keith Gill seen a little bit of price movement. It was a little red day. I think we were down, man, it was like 6% or something at the most. And they were like, shit, this is a rug. This is a rug. Oh, another scam pushing off the back of Roaring Kitty. Now, those guys now hold Keith Gill because it took nearly everybody on the team to come on and speak with them. They brought up Keith to talk on a space. We spoke with them. We broke it down what we are. And that's what we'll be doing here today. So for anyone that hasn't heard from Keith Gill before, today we'll be talking about everything there is to this CTO. I know a bit about everyone on the team. We're going to speak about Arthur Crypt, who's speaking here today. That is myself. Then we're managed on X by Gord. Now, if you come around RTG, it won't take you long before you find all these guys. They're here daily, they're here every day, and have been for over 8 months now. So this is something we take pride in. This is our little baby. This is our little project. This is something you can come around and you can pick up wherever you want, man. If you want to come around and just push some memes, come around and do that. You want to come around and have a little fun on the coin flip bot, come around and do that, man. We're all here for a good time, and that's all there is to it. For being here this long, you just gotta enjoy it. Sit back, head up, have some fun, man.
So you touched a lot of different points, I think, with this little brief talk. And I would say that, first of all, as you just conclude your talk, sit back and relax. And I want to ask you if, except for meme tokens, first of all, you personally have any other holdings, or you just focus mostly on meme tokens? Because, as you said, the volatility, a lot of people, in for the quick flip, or to take money out of your wallet. So what is, if you have any other holding, or you're holding on memes, and also if you think personally that the memes, what it is exactly that it catch your attention with memes rather than other projects.
Well, I do hold a little bit of Solana on crypto.com. Of course, I just leave it there just in case I ever need to send some over, some more memes. But if we're gonna talk about meme coins, 95% of my meme coin portfolio, I would say, is in Keith Gill. Now, the reason I would say I keep most of my portfolio in Keith is not because I'm working on it or I know the team or anything. It's because it's the only coin in this market anymore that I can still say that it's going to be here next month. It's the only one I true-heartedly know that I can go to sleep and I'm going to be all right. We were down before, and once you reach a level like 85,000 market cap, you find your bottom, you find who's ready to hold. And when we reached 85,000 market cap, we had the same guys here today. We have the same team. Nobody flinched. nobody started to panic. We didn't start getting annoyed at each other and start calling each other out and said, "Whoa, the chart is looking bad. Who sold?" There was none of that there. We pulled our shit together. We've started funding for animations, and since 85,000, we have only been climbing. We're currently sitting at, I'm gonna pull up the decks, but it was 1.1 mil market cap we're sitting at. We're up 23% in the past hour, so things are looking nice. Things are looking nice. There's a lot more movement on Solana and memes, so I think that's what keeps me interested, Doug. I think that's what keeps me interested. There's a there's a very fast flowing market, and if you're still pushing the same memes you were pushing last month or the same jokes, it's gonna get boring for the outside community looking in. We have a very nice appearance on X, if I do say so myself, thanks to Gord, one of the working team members who've been here since day one. Gord's a very valuable asset, and if it wasn't me here right now, it'd probably be Gord you're speaking to. So he does a really great job of managing the X. It's basically it's basically all him right now. I do post the odd thing myself on there, but I gotta give respect where respect's given, and he's done an amazing job on there. We get people dropping by in the TG all the time, just honestly saying like whoever's running X, amazing job. It's fucking beautiful. We don't try to use the Keith Gill X account for trying to push the coin. We more use it to try and interact with the community, try and keep Keith as somebody who isn't seen as a Memecoin actively trying to push his price point on X. Fuck the chart. If you come around Keith Gill in TG and you say chart, Rose will prompt you with a message that says fuck the chart. Now, that little fuck the chart, it doesn't mean the chart doesn't matter. We've had that before. We've had people say, what does this mean? Well, why is there no chart? Of course there's a chart. Of course the chart matters a wee bit. It matters a wee bit, okay? But in something as fast as Solana, something as fast as the Roaring Kitty, all it takes is for one tweet, and you can see the price movement go up 50%. It could go up more. It's went up more before. It's not uncommon. So this takes me back to where I said earlier about trying to trade on these coins. You're going to be left with your thong wrapped around your ankles if you really don't have your bag sitting ready to go. Maybe that means you have two bags: your conviction bag and your trading bag. I don't mind what you do. It's all up to you. This is the free world we're living in. No, so I think if you have your conviction plays, that's something. So for me, finding conviction plays in this market right now, it is hard. It is. We had a Retardio meta. I think is going to be the last time the market felt. It felt kind of safe back then when we had Shrimp and we had Bowden, which were huge inspirations to Kiss. Now both of them projects have failed sadly, but they paved the path that now we hope that we can walk. We all have the same kind of art style. It brought in that they call it Retardio because it's just got a little twist on it. It's as if the guy was hit with a brick. It's as if he's just a wee bit slower now, and he's. I just got prompted with a message on my screen from Doug Captain. Crazy good Pondcast. Love Gill and Doug. Oh man, Doug Captain, you're a legend. Thank you. So yeah, it's about trying to find.
Again, you've been touching a lot of points again, and I would say that first of all, as you said, one thing is very important, and me personally, people in Duck the Duck, they know me. A few people now, I'm started to do a few spaces as well with Duck the Duck profile and with my personal as well. And I do say always the same to everyone. If first of all you are so worried about the chart, means that you want to sell, unless you actually want to buy more, because if it's going down, generally I try to buy if I have. Otherwise, I just don't look at the chart of my conviction. But if I'm trading, I'm looking at the chart. So if I want to sell, I'm looking at the chart. That's why, personally, I agree on your point that you said about the chart. And a lot of people focus on the chart because they want to sell, because they put money, unfortunately, in memes especially, that they shouldn't put. That's why I always say to everyone, please, don't buy this money, with your rent, your monthly rent, the money of your food. do it with money that you like. I don't know. That month you drink one less beer and you buy $5 of Doug the Duck or Keith Gill, Bitcoin or whatever you like. That's why, in my opinion, a lot of people after are so worried. And I would like to ask you a little bit, first, because it might be that a few people listening, they don't know what actually a CTO is. So would you like to explain a little bit on this
Okay.
point, what a
Yeah,
CTO,
of
how it
course,
works?
Doug. Of course, Doug. So, in the early days of Keith Gill, after being launched on Pumpfun by somebody who claims to be the dev, who we know as Blockchain Bandit. Now, Blockchain Bandit was the loudest person on Telegram at launch, and when Keith Gill got rugged, Blockchain Bandit kind of stepped up and he pulled together a team extremely quick. Now, he didn't know these guys or anything. It was just people who all were like-minded, and they were all left in this coin now, holding their bags. They've seen this price drop. Now,
How did you keep in contact? Because, for example, you say on Pumpfun, and how, maybe you said a dev in this case, I believe, is
yeah,
ragging. That means they're probably selling, his own supply. How do you, you as a holder, how do you keep in contact with the other holder to say, guys, this guy sold the supply. What do we do? How does it work?
well, back when he did sell his supply, so it was that day 2 or 3 after lunch that the dev he sold his whole bag, so he was left holding nothing. This is information you can find online, so everybody was aware the dev is now out. This is a good sign if people are ready to take action. Being a dev from Pumpfun isn't a name that's hard to get. Anybody out there can start a name on Pumpfun. You can go and you can start your own coin. Everybody can do it. It's not hard. So to get that dev title isn't something that you need to be proved in this market. It's just another name. So the dev, he was fully out, and this left the man Blockchain Bandit in the Telegram with a lot of other guys. They spoke across Telegram, all public chat, which that chat has now been lost. We'll get into that. This space is gonna go on, so we'll talk about that there later. But with these guys pulling themselves together, then they decided that they would open a VC on the Telegram for, oh man, that must have ran for 3 weeks. And it was these two guys, uh, Lil Beebs and, oh man, Lil Beebs and, shit, I can't even remember. Can't even remember his name. There was two guys and they both wore headbands on VC and they went on for 2, 3 weeks straight. Constantly the VC was on where these two guys were sitting with their headbands on. You had other people dropping in and dropping by, but nobody was there like these guys. I mean, they were sleeping on VC, they were eating, they were going on walks. You used to you used to watch their wives come in and tell them like you need to get off, like we need to spend some time together. And that was when I found Kith. That is when I found Kith. So now these guys, they were sitting on a coin that the only involvement they had in was buying. That is all they had with Kith at this point in time. They bought it. They liked the idea. They liked the narrative. And we'd seen Roaring Kitty post, I believe, once at this time. I believe Roaring Kitty had posted once. And then it filled these guys with a lot of conviction. At this time, people thought Roaring Kitty was maybe back to stay. And that wasn't the case. That wasn't the case. So with these guys now being on VC and holding it down on there, people like myself were coming in and we were seeing this coin that had taken a brave hit on the price. But things had started to level out, things had started to go up. And when you came around the TG, it wasn't filled with these negative vibes. It wasn't filled with these people that were angry at the price movement. Nobody was nobody was scared. Nobody was worried about the price, the chart. People were only really worried about where are we going next? What's happening? We need a team. So that's what they done. People pulled their fucking thongs up and they got a team together. They really worked out what they needed to do. And it was maybe about 2 weeks after that point that I found myself a part of the Keith Gill team. So I came in as Agent Arthur, is what the boys used to call me over there. Um, Agent Arthur was because I used to go in other coins with the similar meta, and I would try and just speak to the team, speak to the community. I would try and get them to make a friendship with us, that a lot of those friendships are still going on today. A lot of the coins that were still there, we are still good friends with them, making animations with them. The latest one was Musk. We have been around Musk since the start of our time, dropping in their TG and just talking to each other because that's what communities do. So as a CTO, which stands for Community Takeover, you gotta prioritize that community. There's a reason it comes at the first of them. You know, as long as you have your community held down at those stages, you can't go any lower. You're at the bottom. The dev is out, so the dev's now sold everything. You're looking at two guys who are devoting their time to being on a VC with headbands. So that's a video chat on Telegram. These guys sat with their real faces on and just a headband. If that doesn't fill you with some kind of even just wondering what is going on, you stumbled across this chat and you're looking at people with headbands on. That is fucking crazy. And you gotta be fucking crazy in this market if you really want to push. So I seen an opportunity that is still going to this day. And I'm so glad I jumped in on it because I didn't know any of the guys that were at Keith Gill, and anyone that was at Keith, they didn't know each other. The only reason they were all brought there was because of this man in a headband. It's as if fate had brought everybody into one place, and now it's all up to you what you decide to do. So since that time where those two guys started out with headbands on in VC, we now are where we are today. So it's thanks to them pulling their shit together. Just two ordinary guys who had plenty of time at that point that really pulled it together so the rest of us could come in and take up where we are now. So it was really just getting that community down and holding it down at that time. We weren't there to make money. We were there to try and hold down a community, and that's what we prioritized, and it's led us to where we are now. We have quite a nice team. There's mm, six or seven of us actively working on the coin. We have somebody who just works with Reddit. We have Gord, as I say, on the X. We have me on the Spaces, Arthur. We have Mac on memes. We have RK. Oh, man, RK is an asset. If you drop by RTG, it won't take long to find RK. He's living in New Zealand. So we have people 24/7 on TG due to the time difference across the world. I myself come from Northern Ireland. So for me, currently, it is 12:23. There's Gordon Chat, Lil Beebs, and Heavy Lift. So that was the two guys who used to sit on VC with the headbands on. Lil Beebs and Heavy Lift. Man, and for the life
Fair
of me,
enough.
I couldn't remember Heavy Lift for the life of me, man. It's late at night. So that's the name of them guys. But they used to sit there all day. Yo, it was crazy, dog. I can't explain it to you. You used to go on and they were there. You went on again a few hours later, they were there. Man, it was nuts. So it was because of that that a lot of people had filled their heart with conviction. A lot of people, they couldn't walk away from it after seeing this. I wasn't held there because I bought in and then the price went down. I bought in once the price was down for myself. But I know the likes of Ranger. Ranger is one of the working members on Keith Gill. He's been in there since day one, since launch, and he hasn't left. He hasn't went anywhere. He hasn't sold anything. He's just chilling and enjoying a good time. We create memes, and that was something that we all really enjoyed doing together. So we got together just in our main group. You can come in, you can join in. You'll find us where we bounce ideas off each other for these memes and these tinfoil theories. But the question was about how we CTO'd it, what a CTO is. So we'll stick to that for now. We'll stick to that. But yeah, man, we CTO'd it due to the fact of those two normal guys having the conviction to sit on VC all day, man.
Yeah, so I would say that you said the community, but me personally, at this point, I would say that first, you need people close to you willing to work for it. because let's say you had these two guys on VCs for 2 weeks, it doesn't sound like the price was moving. But as soon as these two guys, they started to connect with the right people and create the right team and the right connections, at that point, you could start to focus on the real thing that, as you said, is the community eventually, because with meme tokens, eventually, you need to work on the community especially. But, I would say that firstly, you need the right, circle of people that you can trust and they are willing to work as much as you are, because you alone, you cannot make a project going to millions. You cannot go, not even probably to 100K alone, unless you wanna get involved. And maybe you have some money, it makes sense, because it's not easy going to 100K if you are alone. So personally, I would say that you need a team. Don't you agree on this? Or
I got it. So I came into Keith Gill as a community holder. I came in as somebody who's seen these guys, and I thought this is a great idea. These guys really have conviction in what they're doing, and to spend this amount of time and to show your real face online, not many people are doing it. So I came in just as a community holder, and I loved it, man. I loved what everyone was doing, and I just wanted to be a part of it. So I got onto the team. So I think it's having that community that's open and ready to take anyone in, because the likes of RK, he was about the second last person to join on the team after Ricky Reddit. Ricky Reddit was the last person, and then RK. So RK came in just as somebody in the community, and he was in that odd time zone where it just crossed over when me and Mac being in the same time zone, we were asleep, and Gord, when he was getting ready to go to sleep, RK still had hours to go. RK was up until I was back on again. So we constantly had people online. So to have somebody in the community that was able to be there and start raids and just be online if somebody needed any answers or any questions answered, that meant something. So we reached out. We said, "Here, man, you're around here a lot. We know you're holding. Any chance you want to just join up to the team?" He joined up instantly. He couldn't wait to get a part, to see what was happening in behind the scenes, and it filled him with so much more conviction, knowing that he's just some random guy. He doesn't know us, but he's able to come and work on this coin that he's bought in on. It's completely open. Everything we do is public. If you want to come in on this, you can. We aren't stopping you. So yeah, I think it is important to have a good team, but to get a good team, you need something that attracts them. You aren't having people pushing a dead coin. You aren't having people push a bad idea. You have to have an idea where people all share the same kind of thought process or the same views on it. Everyone needs to be taking the same steps. Otherwise, you're all going in different directions, and it doesn't work when you're all pulling different directions. You've got to be focused. You just got to keep your ideas the same, and that's why the TG is there. It's so you can all talk about your ideas and bounce them off each other, and you do come to some good ideas. Everyone does. Hearing everyone else's different thoughts and different inputs, it's outside the box thinking, because you're working with people that they're not necessarily thinking about the price. They're thinking more about how they can make more people interact, and with more people interacting in this market, you push up the price. That is how memes go. You make somebody laugh, they buy it, the price goes up, and that's that's what we do around here, Keith Gill. We make memes.
so, yes, as you said, eventually you started as a community member. So, there was the team that was building up, because it's the same with me personally. People that they know me into the pond, they know that I joined eventually because, I started to buy, I started to trade in the first place, and, eventually started to believe in the project, as you said, something that, I was not only relating to, a price, stability point of view, but it was as well relating to the meme, because I was looking at it. We had, a lot of things that for me personally as a community member, I saw it and I was like, yes, I relate to this project. I have a laugh. I joined the Telegram. There are people, having a laugh, people enjoying, people, join the VC, go on X. So you have people doing, spaces, funny comments, funny stuff. That's absolutely correct. As you said, I agree on this. And in fact, me personally, happened very similar. The only difference this case, is that your one was exactly a CTO. So for a CTO, I think personally it might be a bit different sometimes because, as you said, it wasn't your project, but it's your project. So, and anyone that start to work hard for it, it can be. In fact, with Duck the Duck, I do always say the same to everyone. It's the same because I am the proof of it. We have other people as well that are part of the team in a way. Let's say yes, but they are with all the limits. Because, for example, you said you worked probably today. I did work today as well. Finish work, come home, and we do this because I love it. That's what I do. I don't care. I don't care the price, as you said before. For me, is the whole meme from the people inside to what it is, the concept of it. And these are absolutely all points that people like to forget. I think when it comes memes, because of course the volatility is something that me as a trader I love, but that's why I don't hold the trades. I leave moonbags if they are going well, but I don't hold the trades because I know that eventually not every single meme that makes me laugh is gonna be that one. That's why, as you said, you need to join the Telegram. You need to see X. You need to be on that part. That I think are very important. For every single meme project. The social medias, because that's how you connect with the communities. But I will definitely have a shout out. To your Telegram. I will definitely. I think I joined already with mine, but I'm not sure right now because I'm in too many groups lately. But honestly, so far I would say that you've been very, for whoever is listening didn't kind of understood a CTO or how it can be as well, can be done, because a lot of people might have happened, this as you said, they've ragged, or you go there and there is nobody is actually the one behind the team, and you find yourself there, and what do you do? Because it happened to me as well. That I just never put the will of doing it because the project I didn't like it that much to actually CTO it. So shout out to you guys, because all of you, because believing in something that is not yours, I think is amazing. So any other, let's say, except from is a meme, why do you think somebody that is like on the screen or on X or now is listening to this, let's say, except from it makes them laugh, what would be something that somebody should, I cannot say buy because I always say it's not financial advice, guys, but what is something that made you buy, and except from the laugh, and you would see that somebody join the Telegram and say, oh, why did you buy this token? Why did you join? For this reason. What is something that you could say about your personal project, Keith Gill?
So for me personally, of course I'm going to be biased. I'm on the team. So for me personally, it was all about that VC. It was all about the public interaction, all about the X appearance. That was strictly it. I never seen other coins interacting the way Kith was. Kith was always Gil. I don't know if everyone's looking at the screen, so let's just call it Gil. So I don't know if everybody is the same minded as me on how we think. So I actually asked this question to the community. I asked it to the Telegram, to a lot of people that don't actively work on the coin, but they do actively buy it. They do actively trade on it. They do actively interact with Keith Gill every fucking day. So it's those guys that keep the coin coming. So I think it's what their views think matters more. Because for me sitting here, I'm saying everything that Kit does attracts me. If I didn't think it was attractive, I wouldn't be doing it. I'm working on it. So for the public coming in, looking at Kit Gill and wondering, what's different about this coin? What's different? Well, Kit Gill is the Roaring Kitty narrative. We hope to be the coin of the Roaring Kitty. We've seen it before. We've seen Shrimp. We've seen Bowden. Seen Moose. We've seen all these coins of. You could call them. I don't want to call them celebrities because anyone that was around during that wee short-lived celebrity week meta, as I said, it was short-lived. So I don't want to say celebrities, but for Kith, he's put after a stock investor who I would proudly say everybody knows. Everybody knows who the Roaring Kitty is. At least just that part. Now, who the Roaring Kitty is Keith Gill. Keith Gill, somebody you can look up and you can learn about online. He's been on the news. He's been around for a very long time now. And he's done He was the man behind the short squeeze of GME. There is not many people that can hold that title. There is not many people you can say that about. So to be Keith is just a normal guy, because that's all Keith is. Keith was just a normal guy who's trading stocks, and he is extremely good at it. He's able to look at the market and he's able to analyze it and he's able to call things months before it happens. He's able to look at news that he knows will be coming up, and he implements this in the memes that he posts online. So if you go and you look up the Roaring Kitty on X and you scroll through his feed, you'll find a lot of movie clips, pictures, and it's all like a riddle. It's all this game that keeps you interested. Every post means something. And even if you can't work out what it means then, be sure that about a month's time, you will know what the post meant. Every post means something. So Kith is after this man of mystery. He's after this man that is always doing things that he's always 3 steps ahead. Your jaw's always on the floor after he finishes his move. It's always very strategical. So there's something to watch. There's something. There's something you need to keep your eye on, or it's moving away. If you don't catch up on his last post and then you see the next one, you kind of left wondering what's going on. It's kind of like a little series. It's like a Netflix series that you're actively interacting with. You're coming online and you're checking what's going up. So Kith has this relevance to normal day thing. You know, if we see the Roaring Kitty on the news, be sure that Keith Gill is going to make a little animation of him being on the news. It's being able to capture real life events and put them onto the screen that we can all just have a good time on. So it brings us back to, oh, we're having a good time off the laughs. That's why you buy it. But I think it's more how many laughs can come out of Kith. We can't comprehend at this time, because if the Roaring Kitty pulls off what he done in 2021, I believe, uh, we're gonna see him back on the news. We're gonna see him all over online, and the meta will inevitably be Keith Gill. If you compare us to other coins of the narrative, you will see. Oh, I don't want to say that we're on top, but we do have a nice fitting in there. You have the other GME coins, GME and ETH and Solana, and they are very well established, but they aren't meme. If you know, yeah, they're Solana and an ETH coin, but they aren't they aren't making little videos, you know. They aren't making a laugh. They do have somewhere you can go on and you can talk to people about the stock and things. But if you come by RTG, you'll see that we're just interacting with one another. We're not interacting constantly over the coin. You know, you can come around and you can talk about the Roaring Kitty post, but soon you're going to be talking about what you had for dinner. Soon you're going to be talking about what you're doing this weekend, because soon you're going to be there every day. You're going to be there just interacting, because it becomes this extra platform you're using. You use X and Dex Screener and Phantom every day. What if you had a little chat where you could just drop in and say, "Oh, did you see this going down today?" And it's something that's going on, maybe political wise or whatever. And in a lot of coins, that's maybe not something they're interested in. It's not something they look at. But what happens in the stock market, it kind of does impact us in the end, you know? It's all about how much money's in circulation and where the volume's coming from. So lately we're seeing a spike of volume in the market, and I think this is very great for Kith, because you're seeing a spike. And in my opinion, it seems to be a lot of stock investors. It seems to be people that they know about investing. They know that money can go up, they know it can go down, but then they see this volatility. And that's extremely scary to somebody that's only ever bought gold, because you'll never see movement like that in gold in your life, man. This movement we see on chain is crazy. So if you're looking for a coin that fits if you're looking for an investment or whatever you want to call it, not financial advice, as Doug said at the start of this space, but if you're looking for somewhere where you can surround yourself with like minded people on the Roaring Kitty, GME, maybe some other stocks, whatever it is. I don't think you're finding a better coin than Keith Gill. Lately, we implemented a bot that works off of AI, where you can put in a little command, and it prompts you with our bot telling you a bit about the stock. So you can check Apple, Amazon, GME, whatever you want to check, and he tells you the price movement and stuff in the day. So this is something we're working on at the minute, is implementing AI into it a bit more. You can come around and you can ask the bot, like, what's the weather like in Belfast today? That's something I do all the time because that's where I'm from. And it's nice to be able to interact with that in somewhere that isn't the weather app. You know, it's something new. It's something you just don't get to do every day. So why not do it? Why not capture this opportunity that's in front of you? It's something new. If you keep doing the same thing you done yesterday, that's what they call psychotic. So you really got to be chasing something new every time, man.
You know,
So
it's absolutely right what you said, because first, this artificial intelligence thing that you said, I personally, I have a stock portfolio as well, and it's quite interesting because I sometimes I don't look at stock market, especially lately, because we're in a bull cycle of crypto, so I'm not really looking at the stock market, because yes, it's going up, but it's different. But it's a very nice implementation, as you said, for the artificial intelligence. That part of maybe sometimes for us human, especially when you're not a big team yet, being always 24/7, maybe on the Telegram or on Twitter, it becomes very stressful sometimes. So it can give as well a little bit of freedom. That's a very nice idea, very interesting. In my I mean, I think there are already probably something like that for something big, but for a low cap meme token, I don't think I heard it of yet, unless it's artificial intelligence already. So that's a very nice idea. So have you got any other, like things that you think you're working on that you would like to talk, or you don't want to, yet to drop anything? Because, this one I think is already something quite of an alpha in a way, because again, is for meme, for a meme, the engagement for the community, I think, is essential. So you can actually, engage with the community without being constantly there. And that is quite interesting again.
well, we do. So I spoke about Mac earlier on. Mac is working on the coin. He's part of the CTO, and he was recently the one who added the bot for the stock price. So he's working on that. He's tidying up a few things. At the start, it just showed you the price. Now it shows you the price movement. Uh, I Mac's working on that every day, man. It could be changed by this moment now. He does it. You can go on and just see like Max talking to the bot. He's trying to do something, and it's nice to be able to come on and see that, because although you're not interacting with Mac, you're able to go on and you're able to see that he's doing something, and I think that gives a sense of just a sense of comfort to see that somebody's taking their time. Like Mac's making nothing off of this. This bot doesn't cost us anything to have around. He's done the coding on it, so it's just implemented into the chat, and it's something that he. Oh, I don't want to give too much alpha. I don't want to give too much, but I do know he is looking at maybe trying to create a bot that we can implement in the other group chats. So, like yourself, now it might not fit your picture, Doug, but a little Keith Gill bot that can come on and tell you price movement of crypto stocks, whatever it is. Maybe it can. Maybe we'll be able to implement some kind of news feature so it can tell you like the latest news about a stock or something. Pulls the first relevant post online and gives you the link. Something nice, something clean, something that makes life a wee bit more easier. And as I say, like if you're invested in the GME meta, you're interested in everything that's going on, and you're keeping your eye on the roaring kitty, to have something else where you can come on and you can also say, oh, what's Apple doing today? And you can put it into the same place, same platform. I think it's just another thing. It's just another one reason why you enjoy being there. I love the bots because you get an instant interaction. You pull the phone out and work, and you go, "What's the weather like in Florida?" Because that's where one of the guys is from, is Florida. So I can tell what the weather's like. He can tell me the time, and I can tell him that it's fucking raining outside and you should be spending your time online. So it's being able to, it's really being able to interact with the real life world in a Web3 way keeps everything going. It keeps everything relevant because there's only so long a fire can burn out. But as long as fuel keeps getting added to it, the fire keeps burning. So as long as the Roaring Kitty stays alive and we don't see anything bad, we will continue to get news. We will continue to get things we can meme. We will continue to see people coming into the market that has only recently found out about what is going on. So it's constantly having them fresh ideas, them fresh news, fresh things coming in, keeps everything going, man.
First of all, you said about that part. I give you just a tip about this boat, guys, because I always try to have a business kind of mind when it comes memes, because I think something that is missing a lot for a lot of meme project is the cost and revenue side. So it's something that you could try to work on, maybe to shield it in the right places, like maybe Telegram channel that are specifically for stock markets or something like that, because as you said, it doesn't cost you nothing for use in the first place, but that doesn't mean that you cannot actually maybe earn some money from it, because I think again that the revenue for a meme project is something essential. That's why personally we're trying as Duck the Duck to do a lot of different things that they can make our project eventually be not only a meme, because that's what a lot of meme that is the challenge in my opinion for a lot of legit projects right now. Is not only the first pump, because if after 8 months you are still here, as you said, you cannot do the same thing that you did yesterday. So I think that what you are doing again is very good, guys, and if you will find the right way to implement it and maybe even make it even different, as you said, not only gear related but with something else that could be adaptable, at that point you can actually start to sell a product, if it makes sense, that you maybe don't even know about, just to throw an idea there. So any other, you said you do spaces a lot personally, so what kind of spaces do you generally like to do? What kind of spaces are, let's say, on X that you can basically open a chat and people can basically go on the show, they can talk, there is a host that can basically let people on, let people have a conversation, and generally there are a lot for meme tokens as well in which people can present their projects. So you personally, what kind of spaces do you like to do? What kind of spaces you like to join?
So the last one I was in was with, I don't know if you're familiar with Sassy. They're on Solana also, and it's just another coin. So this is another coin that I do believe is CTO. I think so. I might be wrong, but they hold spaces. I believe it's weekly, maybe bi-weekly, where they come on and they just talk to each other, see what everyone's up to, and time to time I join in on that. I personally think they're one of the greatest spaces I go on to, due to the fact, I don't know, Doug, are you familiar with rock paper scissors on a space?
No, personally, no.
Oh, this shit is fun. So on X, when you're on a space, you can react with little hands, we waving, little peace sign, whatever it is, and you can use these signs to play rock paper scissors. Somebody does the countdown, and then once the countdown's over, two people press the button and pick either rock paper scissors. So of course you can do a little DJ and spin on this, and you can add in some little bets on this. Personally, it's all up to you. You're gonna have to sort that out, send it to each other. But it's having a platform where you can actually go on and you can create a little game. We're all grown people. We're all sitting here. We're only gambling maybe $5 at a time, but you're gambling in a way that has never been done before now. You're gambling on Web3 with rock, paper, scissors on a space. Can you imagine trying to explain that to somebody that isn't familiar with the space? That now you're buying it.
Now that you're saying this, I remember that somebody didn't know it's a gamble, but it's a giveaway. So it was basically in this space there was a giveaway, and at the end, the two people that they engaged the most with the post to shill for the space, they would have done a rock paper scissors. Now that you explained it, I'm like, oh, I saw it a couple of times. I didn't think about making it gambling, and it's something that, let's say, we all love a little gamble. Otherwise, we wouldn't be meme tokens, wouldn't we?
Amen, man. Amen. It's having that interaction. I don't bet or anything like that. I would never use a slot machine. But coming on here and I have this platform that if you talk to a normal person about this, they can't really get their head around it. You show them the animations and you're like, oh, people buy into this, and then we gamble off of each other online. It all sounds like a game, and as long as you can keep it that it's a game everybody's enjoying, people are going to keep taking part of it. People are going to keep joining, and it's having that opportunity where anybody can come in. So on that space, we were able to bring up normal people, and if you won the game of rock paper scissors, you were rewarded with one Trump coin. So it was like $22, I think, when the space was held. And then the next day it was like 65. Oh man, I gambled off two of them bad boys. So it's having that opportunity to do so. You don't have that everywhere. You don't have a platform in every meme where you can organize something in the space of 5-10 minutes. Us Keith Gill, we held our own space one time, and I believe we had about 600 and something people tune into it. So for our first space on X, where it was just us team talking about what we were doing, and we recently seen a nice little pump, and we wanted everybody to know who was behind Kith, because when you're looking at a meme coin from the outside and you don't see anybody associating themselves with it, it can be a red sign. It's nice to know who behind the accounts you're watching. Yes, in the comments you want to make it seem like you're just this cartoon that isn't actually real, but you can't always hold up that persona. You do have to come to the realization like this is real. People do put their hard work and money into this. People do put time into this. They miss events. I'm missing sleep. It is 12:53 at night right now, and there's nothing else I would rather be at. Now that doesn't go for everybody. That doesn't work for everybody. But to me, this space is something I just see growing every day. Something that hasn't slowed down. It is the same place every time. You can come on here and you can talk to people. You can come on and you can just gamble. However you want to treat this platform is up to you. There's a lot of people who only come around and invest. A lot of people who are just here to trade. They aren't even talking to people who are just watching. You have a lot of that people just watching. It's nice to give them the window to watch through because you shouldn't have shit to hide. This is a market. As a CTO, we don't own the coin, so to talk like we are puppet masters behind it is crazy, which has happened before. But we are a meme coin community takeover, so we're no different from anybody else. Just buying, people can come in and buy up, become one of us. You gotta leave that opportunity there for people. There's coins where if you try and go and you want to work on them, they won't let you in. I've been banned from trying to help with raids before in coins. I hate that shit, man. If somebody wants to take a minute out of their day to go and find a raid and then send them a link, that is great. I love it. I love it. You just want to interact. You want to get the name out there. You're proud of what you're buying. That is beautiful. To see these smaller accounts, to see new accounts posting about a coin, I think it's great for coins to see. A lot of the time you end up, you just have the same admins posting raids. And it's like, why is it always this guy posting? Why is nobody else caught on to this idea that's going on? Why is nobody else posting these memes with them? There's a lot of questions, and you do have to have the answers for them. Now, if you can leave your coin in a place where people can come in and find those answers, that is even better because people move fast. People maybe spend a minute, 2 minutes looking into your coin, and after that, if you haven't caught their eye, they move on. this market is vast, so you really do got to keep everybody interested, keep everything shining, polished. You're gonna have people looking in, and make sure the door's open, man. You don't want to turn nobody away. You don't know who you're talking to in this market.
I agree with what you said a lot, especially because, as I told you, me personally, I'm a community member that I step
Another
up,
level with
and
the community team.
sorry. What did you say?
You're breaking up a wee bit there for me, dog. What's going on?
So I was saying that, as you said, as I was saying, in the first place, I am as well part of the community, and I step up, and I try to say always in the pond as well to everyone, guys, do something as well if you can and if you want. I do spaces. I do it with my normal profile with Duck the Duck. I say to people, you have a Duck the Duck profile picture, join spaces, try to do something extra. Every little thing is appreciated, because as you said, you know you want to onboard people that are willing to work for their bag. No, as I say this, because very often you find yourself, as you said, try to help, and people, they close you the door, and you're there like, are you trying to help this project to thrive, or are you trying to just take some money from people and run? Because unfortunately, that's why, in my opinion, a lot of projects don't really look for help, because they have a specific plan already in mind. Well, as you said, find a ride, find a raid, do a tweet, post it in the chat. Doesn't take a long, in the Telegram. If you start to do it on a daily basis, if you're always on Twitter, it takes 2 seconds to have a pre-made kind of text, do it. And, it's just a little thing that I agree with you that not everyone has the will to do. But I think because, people, unfortunately, they need to be shown in a way. And that's why I always repeat to everyone, I'm not dev. I cannot be dev of this project. I won't be. I will never be. But I love it. I'm a community member, and I'm here, hosting the podcast. That is, even the first idea was mine. But that's why I love the concept, and I cannot think another project that another real life project that could give me something like this. And that's one point that very often I try to help people understand, that when you find the right project and you work on it, you will have so many opportunities to connect, to do things that in a normal situation, with your normal job, most probably you won't have. This is something that honestly with you is admirable, especially because I know you personally. You told me how old you are, and it's admirable because you find people that they have my age. I'm a 30-year-old man. They already gave up in life. People that are 20, they already gave up in life. After you find people that, regardless of their age, they're always there, because they know that a dream, to make it come true, it doesn't take you one day. It takes you sometimes even 20, 30 years. But if you work hard, you might have a good chance to get it. And, I think even you guys, you're doing honestly a great job, because again, you are there. You are not running away. You're proving that that's a project you are happy to have your money invested in, and that is something that unfortunately a lot of people don't do. They're not happy to invest somewhere. They put their money, and after it goes in the wrong way.
I
So
I on it, man. People do enjoy working on a coin. I do believe that. I do believe that random people, when they drop by, if they do something, it needs appreciated, because it's standard for the team to do raids. That is just one of your rules. If you're gonna take that admin badge, you know that you're gonna be posting raids, so that's expected. But to see somebody come out from the community who, they're just a random guy, they might not even have a profile picture on, and they're like, "This is a good post. It's new." I love that, man. I fucking love it, because that shows that the conviction you have is spreading to people. It's coming into people that they're only watching from the outside. I haven't even seen this guy post in here before, and now he's telling us, "Here's a raid. It's good. I'm competent." Sometimes they don't even know, like, they should share their comment or the post, but it's really going in on that moment, because I think that's where you really do find who wants to work on the team, because if you show your I don't know if you call it respect for what they've done, but if you show them any kind of acknowledgement for what they've done, for the fact they have sent a raid in here and took a minute, they love that shit, man. There is not a person on this planet that doesn't love a little bit of appreciation, a little bit of, oh, what a fucking post, what a fucking post. Everybody loves it, but you have to be able to interact with the person back. These bigger coins, they don't want to interact with the small guy. They don't want to act. They don't want to interact with the guy who doesn't have a profile picture. Why not? Because it's those guys that they're gonna say to their friends, and they're like, "Oh, we've only got in on meme coins, but I think this one here is good," and they're gonna come round, and you never know where they could be in a month. As I say, I only got into Solana meme coins about a month or a year and a few months. So when I came in and I got that little bit of appreciation for dropping by other coins and just talking and being like, "Hey, would you ever want to collab with Keith?" Now, a lot of them said no. A lot of them just fucking banned me straight out of the TG. But that was 7 months ago. And now look at where we are. A lot of those coins that we used to reach out to, we're now above them. We outlived them. We're still here. If they would have shown us any kind of respect back then, we would still be making collab videos with them. We'd still be interacting with them daily. So you never know who you're talking to in this market. So to burn off a Lysand as quick as that, it's crazy. You really need to interact with every single person in your community, regardless of who they are or regardless of how long they're there, how many days they show up in a row, whatever it is. You just gotta show some acknowledgement, man, to the smaller man. It's important. The person who doesn't have the big profile account on X, the verified tick, everything else, those are the people that when you go on and you look up a coin, when you go on and you look up Dog online, if you just seen the one person posting every time, you question it, you wonder why. But if you go on and you're seeing all these different accounts, all these different people, and everyone's got their own little insight on it, it gives you a lot more comfort because you're seeing that there's real people. You're seeing that it isn't just a load of fucking bot accounts. You're seeing that it's not just the same guys making more accounts, because every post is different. You can go on and you can tell when Gord's made a post and when I've made a post, because as Doug says, I am only 19. So I'm brave and young for being in this space. But I think it gives me more. Oh, I know memes. I grew up with a phone. I grew up looking at memes. For me to go online and do some research, I don't know any different, because I grew up in a life that I've always had this. So where I can go on and I can do a little bit of research. I can do my little bit of research brief and quick, because it's like making my dinner. It's just a little part of my life. So the fact we can implement those little bits of research in the Kith, which is, I think that might be the goal for Kith. I think it's to create him into coin where he kind of represents the real Keith. Keith was a very knowledgeable man on the stocks. So imagine we could make Keith the most knowledgeable man on memes. I think it would be pretty beautiful.
I mean, that's a nice meta, yes, to build up. Honestly, I I am, personally always do my research. I love it. When something happen, I always love dig into things. The Roaring Kitty situation, I ran it through so many times. Even later, I watched another documentary about another similar thing that they tried with, bad. It wasn't him, but the rich guy. I don't remember his name. The one that pumped the price up properly. Because as you said, Roaring Kitty, what he did, that's the thing. He saw a good trade, and between me and you, I do think he's been quite lucky, or was a little bit connected in some ways. But regardless of what it was, that's the thing that after that, a lot of people start to follow. So definitely your meta, it could be something if, it's gonna start to get involved again a bit more with memes. And my opinion is just a matter of time, because that's what I say to everyone. We just had Trump launching his meme token. what you think is going to happen to memes in probably a couple of weeks, 1 month, maybe 2 months. But what do you think is going to happen? They're going to go parabolic. That means they will see definitely, Keith Gill roaring Kitty looking around and see, oh, what kind of memes do we have that they are related to me now that we can pump? Because, these things happen. And, I'm sure this kind of meta can work out, especially again, if you keep grinding, keep working, building that community that for that kind of, character online is definitely very important, especially after, as I said, the GameStop, short squeeze, because there are some people that are still waiting for the other guy to make a post, the rich guy. There are still people thinking that they are getting back some of the bet beyond because the GameStop thing, it was okay, but that guy, no roaring kitty, the other one, did a lot of very dodgy thing, and there are people, they follow sometimes. I think these celebrities in the wrong way. But again, what you said about this person, is something that if you believe in this, that's the most important thing. It's not like you are judging somebody because it doesn't, but at the same time, you make it thrive. Is that for part of your meta, part of your narrative? So is I respect absolutely your point on this, if it makes sense. And as you say, it's about respecting other people. And you say,
well, I think that brings us back to you always got to be adding fuel to the fire. So to be in a narrative where there's constantly new news coming in, maybe a week apart, but there is news coming in. You're sure of that. We know in a month from now there will be new news out. Our thinking will have been changed by next month because you got to move with the market. You got to move with what's going on. Just in theory, because a while back people thought maybe Roaring Kitty could end up on the GME board. Oh, it could happen. It could happen. Imagine it happened. Imagine it happened. You turned on your phone and you on the GME board was the Roaring Kitty, the man who caused the short squeeze. That's great. That's game breaking news. That is big fucking news. So for anything that can really bring people's attention isn't in on the narrative, that's a huge green flag, man. That is huge because for as long as the Roaring Kitty is around, for as long as GME is around, there will be people always interested. And as long as somebody is interested, there's always the chance of one piece of the news going viral. Man, it just takes one little piece of news to hit headlines, and the next minute, it's the fucking Roaring Kitty narrative. You said Trump launched a coin and sucked all the liquidity out of the market. Man, it was crazy.
I know, bro. Don't worry. I know. I was
Oh,
there as well, bro. Don't worry.
oh
I
man,
was buying alts on that day. Don't worry.
it's a brutal market when something like that happens. But to be in a place where something like that can happen, you are in you're in a place where your life can change at any moment. You just got to pick the right place. So for me, it's coming in and to follow something that constantly has new news coming in because you do need that. You do need something that can keep the new people coming in. There's so many people that are gonna come to memes, but there's so many more people out there that aren't gonna come just because of memes. The memes are just another part of it. So you do got to touch all sides, man. You got to touch all sides to get all people in, get all people on board. Even if they're just giving you a little heart on your X posts, you're getting the analytic favor now. So yeah, you gotta please everybody.
I agree absolutely on this. That's why as well, we personally we try to, get in so many different places. X, we are on YouTube through this streaming. We're on YouTube. We're on Instagram. We're trying to reach everywhere we can. We have a TikTok account as well. I don't know if you have it, guys. And I always suggest to people once they've been out for a while to try to establish at least a profile picture, account of the project or something related on a social media, because you'll never know. You never know that maybe tomorrow there will be a TikTok made with Roaring Kitty and you are already there. As you said, it's enough that that thing that nobody's expecting is enough, because with our things is like that, with our project is like that. It's like that even with Bitcoin or Ethereum sometimes. Not maybe so drastic and volatile, but even with major altcoin, it can be like that. Even the S&P 500, it can be like that sometimes. It's not, of course, as volatile as a meme, but today, or I think it was today, I think that when came out the news of that router thing, it dropped like I don't know how much. I think it was S&P 500, yeah. But this thing that is a problem. That, unfortunately, we're in a volatile market, as you said, and a lot of people, in my opinion, when they start to approach memes and cryptos in general, but even a stock market, they should always step back and realize, as we were saying earlier about the charts. Are you in here to look at the chart, or are you in here to don't look at the chart? When you look at the chart and it's going down, are you crying or are you happy? Because I'm happy generally. I'm happy when I'm investing money and the price goes down, because I know that I can buy more for a lower price, because eventually I'm investing. And as I was saying, that thing, it takes a second, with memes. That, as you said, that likes, the algorithm likes it. It's all about keep grinding, and eventually, eventually it's gonna happen. And if it doesn't, I suggest again to people to don't put too much money in memes, because I, if it happens to Bitcoin, doesn't mean it's gonna happen to everything, But if you believe in it, that means that at least some of it can be put in that project. Just
Yeah.
my personal opinion, because I always try to help people to don't get wrecked, if it makes sense, especially if they are just approaching these kind of markets that I got wrecked as well. I lost money as well. When I now look around, it's a way worse than when I approached Solana, because I got into Solana the same with you. Now I use different blockchain in general. I don't use only Solana, me personally, but Solana is becoming again a very, very tough place. And that is definitely because of the Trump token that, suck liquidity from everywhere. And now Solana is quite high price, so there is still nice volumes, but eventually, it's harder now, because you have some project like Vine the other day that goes to 200 million, 300 million in 4 hours. And you have project that, they go to 20 million and after they go to 50K in a matter of 2 hours, and you are then like, what just happened? So that's why I always say don't try to trade unless you are willing to learn personally.
Oh, it definitely happens in this market. I think if you haven't been rugged before, like you are extremely lucky. It's a weekly occurrence for most people. I mean, especially if you're buying in the new launches. That's a bit of a problem of mine personally. I enjoy new launch. I enjoy chasing a wee bit of hype, and it never ends well at all. Like, I'm not gonna stand here and say like I am a good trader. No, trading on Solana it's fucking scary, man. It is scary. The market moves very quick, and it doesn't move like a normal market. It moves like a market where maybe
A
one
degen,
person can,
a
yeah,
degen market. That's what we
ma-
are on Solana.
man, that is exactly what it is. Shit moves quick. Shit moves very quick. I seen the other day Nevada took a complete tanking after DeepSeek. So I think after tanking like that there, maybe some people might start to analyze their options. They might look out there and they go, what else is there to do? And when you hear of the returns you can make in crypto, it's hard to look away. It is hard, man, because this isn't something that just happens once a month. As you said, Vine went to 200, 300 million the other day, a few hours. Millionaires were made, man. Trump millionaires were made. There is so much money being moved through this market. To stay away from it, it's a bit of a sin. It's a bit of a fool's game, because although it is risky, you do have huge upside potential. You do have the chance of changing your life in just one sleep. You could go to sleep and wake up a fucking millionaire. It's happening, and it's happening more and more common. I do know you said there Trump fucked the market there's a lot of guys saying this, that if Trump didn't launch that coin, the market wouldn't be the same. It would have been the same. It would have been the same. With a lot more new volume coming in, Roggen's very fucking easy in this market with being able anyone can go launch a coin and have that on decks in the matter of hours. And we're seeing people moving teams a lot more, in my opinion. We're seeing these guys and they're coming in on the coins. So Pumpfun, where Kith was created 8 months ago, although it was still a dangerous place, it wasn't. You didn't have to check for honeypots and everything every damn play. But now I can't even go on Pumpfun, man. Every damn play's a fucking loss on there. And I don't know if it's me or if, as you say, Trump maybe he did bring a lot more ruggers into it. Maybe he brought in people that seen that
No, I don't
that
think Trump brought it. No, I don't think Trump brought it. I think Trump brought it back to Solana because that is the point that, Solana, when it wasn't performing well, a lot of people were moving away. So they went to XRP, they started going to HBAR, some SUI because, it's doing very well. But now that Solana is like that, a lot of those people, they came back here because I know for a fact that all of these people on Solana used to be on BNB in the last bull cycle. I know for a fact. So, you need to remember that unfortunately these people, they move where the volume is. So, definitely Trump did it in a way, but let's say it's because of the volumes, because they, scammers follow the volumes. That's where the money are.
yeah, you're right, man. But I think it has made the space. It's hard to navigate. It is. So to go when Keith Gill was launched, people wanted in because fresh launched. There's hype behind it. We seen it with CTO, and back then that was a huge bullish sign. Now, now if you see a Pumpfun coin get CTO'd, it's kind of bearish. It's kind of scary. Why doesn't the dev want to push this anymore? It raises a lot more questions than it answers. So yeah, the market's changed a lot, but the market's going to keep changing. And December's always notoriously a bad month. December's never great. So followed by it was actually quite all right January in my opinion, at least for us anyway. The January's been kind of sideways. You need that little bit of sideways time so you can gather up new people. You watch some other people get out, new guys come in, and the market moves on. So as long as you don't die in that time where the market's moving on, you can capitalize on the next push. We don't know what's going on. Maybe we see Barron starting to pull some meme strings. It could happen. Nobody knows. And if something was like that, or something like that went down, the volume would be crazy. Like it's incomprehensible at this moment in time. Imagine every single person even just had $50 Solana, and they had a little $50 gambling port. You know, we would see a huge impact on the market. Now, whether those people go with stable coins that have been around for a long time, maybe now, or where they go for fresh launches, I don't know. It seems to be the market's now going back to older coins that have proven themselves. So we've established, Doug, you're established. We ain't got nothing to fear anymore because in this market we already stand. In this market we've already secured our position. So it's just learning to move along with it, move like water. Just just keep on ticking over, man. Because as long as you're ticking over, you're one day you're gonna catch that news. You're gonna catch that big news. And like you said earlier, you're on TikTok and everything. That is great. That is so amazing. Because if you've seen when a TikTok coin, it goes viral on there, hits a few 100,000 views. You do notice it. You can go on the chart and you can see, oh, what's that candle caused from? That is caused from a viral TikTok post. That is about to become more and more common, in my opinion, finding coins in the apps like TikTok, because that's what a lot of people are, they're used to. So if you're coming into this space, X might not be your first protocol. It might take you a month before you realize that this is X is where a lot of crypto stuff goes down. So you'll find yourself on other platforms like TikTok. And on TikTok, you've now just been shown this meme. You get a little contact address. You don't see that every day. Maybe you see one coin. I'm not sure. I don't see it every day. So when you see something like that, take it as a sign, because to find that coin on TikTok didn't just happen because they posted one video a couple of months ago. They're actively pushing that coin. So you got to capitalize on moments like that. I know we do have a TikTok. I do run that myself. We don't do. We get a few hundred views on it, but not in the thousands, man. You gotta have a certain kind of animations for TikTok to get those views, which I think you have, Doug. I seen those stickers earlier when you were in our chat. They are beautiful.
Yeah, so if you haven't, have a look at our YouTube channel. We do have a comic book, and as well we do have all the video episodes. Anyway, I would say that it was. I'm gonna wrap it up a little bit because it's actually very late for all of us in here, even the people behind managing this podcast today. So first of all, I want to say a very big thank you to you, Arthur, and to Keith Gill. Honestly, guys, outstanding. After 8 months, still here, grinding. Keep working on it. I'm sure it's just a matter of time. A big thank you, of course, to the team, and specifically to our beta that gave me the opportunity to host this podcast and to actually be here. And for now, guys, I'm gonna tell you bye to the next time, and you're gonna hear me in Spaces or in VC. Is there anything else you want to add, Arthur? Or
I want to say thank you for having me on the podcast today, Doug. This has been an amazing experience. Hopefully it's not the last time. I'm sure we'll see you guys again. Maybe we'll get you up in one of our X spaces. We'll get something organized. But this has been amazing. Maybe next we see Keith Gill in the pond with Doug on a little animation. Maybe it's going to come up. Maybe it's something we're cooking. Maybe it's something that's been talked around in the background the whole time. Stay tuned to find out, boys. Keep your eyes on Doug. Keep your eyes on Keith Gill. This has been a pleasure.
Thank you very much again. Enjoy the rest of your day and night.
Enjoy, man. Thank you.
Hey, are you ready for our bullish talk show? We got guests for days, all queuing in a row. The biggest names in the DeFi space. Black, white and yellow, guests from every race. So hands off your dick, it's now you're in love. We're talking crypto daily with a big pump duck. Big duck energy, let's make banks fast. Come chill with us here on the Pondcast.